Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome everyone to my live class. Today I am going to start my class. At present we are going to start the class online. Now welcome everyone to my live class. I am Rahanuddin Sarkar, lecturer in Panchrukhi Begum Anowara Degree College, Arayhajar Narayanganj. Class 12, class paper, date 26 September 2020. Now we are going to discuss topics. Before starting the topics, I show some pictures, and after showing the pictures I will discuss the full class. Again, let's see some pictures. Who is he? There are 3 pictures on the screen, and there is a question, who is he? From the picture we may imagine the person, name of the persons, next will come everything. Hercules. Today's discussion will be about Hercules. In my previous class I have discussed the first portion of the passage. Now I will go through the passage. Before go through the passage, we see some pictures again. Learning outcomes. By the end of the lesson, student will be able to tell about the parentage of the Hercules, describe the first labor of Hercules, and summarize the passage. Yes, in my previous class I have shown the things. This is a picture of Jupiter's Hercules fathers and Alcmena Hercules mothers. From this, in the passage we will find the name of them, and what we will see in the passage. Now I show them in pictures. Previous class I have discussed the point. This is the action. Hercules' first duty was to kill a ferocious animal. Yesterday I have discussed my previous class. This is a ferocious animal. The picture of the ferocious animal. Hercules was trying to kill the ferocious animal with his club and arrows, but failed. This is the picture. Next, Hercules take another technique, managed to slay his own, relying entirely on his immense strength. Then Hercules killed the lion with his own hand, relying his immense strength. Today's part, now let's start. His next task was to slay a monster called Hydra that was ravaging the country of Argos. In my previous class, I have discussed the first portion. Now I am discussing the next portion. His next task was to slay a monster called Hydra that was ravaging the country of Argos. This was the second duty of Hercules to kill a monster called Hydra. His next task, তার পরবর্তী কাজ, was to slay, হত্যা করে a monster দানব called Hydra that was ravaging, ধ্বংস করতেছে the country of Argos. Argos, a Hydra monster which is ravaging the country of Argos. People are being disturbed by the monsters. They inform the king. Then king ordered Hercules to kill the monster. Hercules, the Hydra was 9 head. Hydra was 9 head, has 9 heads, of which middle one was said to be immortal. Our hero struck off its head with his club, but whenever he knocked off a head, 2 new ones erupt in its place. Hercules first struck off the head of Hydra, as there were 9 heads of Hydra, and middle one was called immortal. Firstly, when Hercules struck off a head at once, at the time, after some times, 2 new ones erupt in its place. Next portion. Eventually, with the help of his devoted servant Aulus, Hercules succeeded in burning all the heads of Hydra except 9th or immortal one. Eventually, পরবর্তী Hercules with the help of his devoted servant, তার সার্ভেন্টের সাহায্যে Hercules was able to burn all the heads of Hydra except the 9th or immortal one, which he decided to bury under a huge rock. And then the immortal one, as this was immortal, Hercules buried the immortal one under a huge rock. In other words, Hercules triumphed again, as he would every time he was giving an impossible task by Eurystheus, and this is how he began to acquire the reputation of a hero possessing immense strength throughout the world. অন্য কথায়, Hercules triumphed, জয় লাভ করা, win again and again, and every time he was given an impossible task, অসম্ভব task মানে কাজ, by Eurystheus, the king of, and this is how he began to acquire অর্জন করা the reputation, সুনাম সুখ্যাতি of a hero, বীরের, possessing immense strength throughout the world, সারা বিশ্বব্যাপী. Let's we see the picture of the description. Sorry. Describe Hercules' first labor in 5 sentences. This is the pair work student will do in 5 sentences. Next, Hercules' second duty was to kill a monster called Hydra that was ravaging the country of Argus. Now I am going to see the picture of the description which I have discussed sometimes ago. Now I am going to show you the picture of the Hydra. There are 9 heads in Hydra. Among them there is immortal one, Hydra that was ravaging the country of Argos. We also see the next picture of Hydra. These are the pictures of Hydra's heads, which our hero struck off its head with club, but whenever he knocked off a head, 2 new ones erupt in it. When Hercules, we have discussed, Hydra struck off its head with his club, but when he struck off its head, 2 new ones erupt in its place. This is the picture of the description. And then eventually with the help of Iolaus he succeeded in burning all the heads of Hydra except the immortal one. This is the picture of burning the Hydra's head. Next, Hercules buried the immortal one under a huge rock. This is the picture of burying the Hydra's immortal head with under a huge rock. Group work. How was Hercules' second labor different from the first one? Different from the first one. Next, evaluation. Who was the father of Hercules? How did Hercules kill the lion? How many heads did Hydra have? There are questions on the screen. Student will be able to answer the question from the previous discussion and pictures. Summarize the passage Hercules. Now I am going to discuss again the full passage. So I am going to from the pictures of the Hercules, we came to know the different idea about Hercules. Firstly, we know that Hercules, about the Hercules father and mothers, Hercules parents, Hercules name of the parents, Jupiter and Alcmena were the parents of Hercules, and the name of the king of the Mycenae, the Eurystheus, and first labor of Hercules was to kill the lion, that was disturbing the valley of Nemea, and Hercules firstly tried to kill the lion with his club and arrows. We have seen the picture on the screen. After that, when Hercules failed to kill the lion with his club and arrows, he then took another tactic. He totally relying on his own strength, he killed the lion. From the discussion, we may ask some question: who are the parents of Hercules? What is the name of king? And which animal was disturbing the valley of Nemea? What was the first task of Hercules, and what is the first attempt of Hercules to kill the lion, and what is the second tactic of Hercules to kill the lion? Already we have discussed the point. From next one, this is second task of Hercules was that Hercules was to slay a monster called Hydra in different tactic. Firstly, Hercules struck off the head of Hydra with his club and arrows. When he struck off the head of Hydra, after a while another two heads erupt in its place. As he thought that this is not the appropriate way to kill the Hydra, then he burned all the heads of Hydra with the help of his debut servant Aeolus. And then the immortal one was buried on the under a huge rock. In this way, Hercules became successful in his task. As he became successful one by one after another, doing his work, performing his works, and this was a supernatural difficult task. In this way, his name and fame spread throughout the world for his immense strength. Now we can form a flowchart about Hercules. We can form a flowchart about Hercules, show some information mentioning the immense strength of Hercules. If we write some information perfectly, we will get full marks in it. So, already I have discussed some information about Hercules. Student will go through the passage and try to answer well, and from the passage there may rearrange may appear, may with clue, without clue appear, and other things may appear. So I advise all the student to study the passage or go through the passage, because without going through the passage it is not possible the student to learn to answer well. And your next class will be held on next Tuesday about Gazipir, and student we should study before starting the class. If they study before the class, they can find out some problem easily, and they will learn well. Okay, my dear student, Assalamu alaikum.